Hello and welcome to Pitt Beyond the Script. We moved from basketball to football with Pat Bostic getting ready for the Sun Bowl. And Pat, you wanted to bust out the film, show some of the things that Panthers fans should be looking for in this game. We're going to start with the power run, which is sort of the basis of the Panthers offense.
It is. I mean, it's where they buttered their bread all year. You look here at this formation. This is probably the play of the year, Rob. A 97-yard touchdown run for Quadri Olson, a school record against Virginia Tech. You can see that every white shirt in the building is around the line of scrimmage on this play. And this is just a power play off the right tackle. You can see big George Aston in motion. And you stop this play right after you start it, and you watch these guys in slow motion pull around. An excellent job by Dentino, the left guard, an excellent job by George Aston filling. But then you see the breakaway speed of Quadri Olson through the line, and obviously the famous stiff arm right there on Caleb Farley down the field. A memorable moment for a senior that just had a terrific year.
So we also know about the reverse, obviously, right? So we're going to skip that because another important element here for the Panthers is going to be the play action coming off of that power running game to allow Kenny Pickett to be able to throw the ball successfully.
No doubt about it. I mean, they have to be able to get the downfield passing game going against Stanford. Stanford's a smart football team. They know what Pitt's strength is. They're going to find a way to try to stop the power run. You got to make them pay for that. You see this play against Duke. Pitt right around midfield here, showing power run, two wing backs. This is actually Olison here to the bottom of our screen in pass protection. And you can see what this power run fake does to the linebackers and the safeties. Everyone's squatting and flat-footed. They're coming downhill to stop the run. And you have an excellent one-on-one opportunity with Maurice French up top. Beautiful route here by French. He proved to be a deep threat all year long. You have to make teams pay when they sell out to stop your run game. That's when Pitt's going at its best. They're making teams pay it through the air.
The Panthers are a running team that can throw, right? We know that. We thought Stanford might be the same thing, right? And Bryce Love, coming off a year in which he may have been a first-round pick. He was the Heisman favorite going into this year. Hasn't had the same kind of year. He's been banged up a little bit, over 2,000 yards. Last year only has one 100-yard rushing game. This year, but as you pointed out before we started doing this segment, he now has a month to heal, and we know he is a dangerous, talented running back.
Yeah, you see him against Notre Dame. I mean, he's still got the breakaway speed. He's been nicked up. The continuity up front hasn't really been in his favor this year, but he's a guy that can break a home run at any point in time. And you watch this little basic inside zone play. They're running against Notre Dame here. They got a two-deep shell. Notre Dame actually is bringing a pressure here. It's a zone play. They pick it up nicely, and David Shaw wants to run the football. Inside zone, and the key against Bryce Love is not giving him that cutback. Once he gets going after that initial cutback, you're not going to catch him. And he gets into the second level, and it's a foot race that he usually isn't going to lose.
Right.
But just a great job up front here by Stanford, and you can see just a basic inside zone play, and they just go downhill at you, and he finds that cutback and back, and boom, he's gone. And that's what Pitt has to guard against, because when he hits that second gear, that's a gear not many people have.
Right, and so he is put up ridiculous numbers last year, including a 301-yard rushing performance. You know what he can do on the ground if he's healthy. Meanwhile, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside has developed into an unbelievable threat for Stanford in the passing game. He's a guy sure to be drafted and uses that great size particularly well in the red zone.
He does. I mean, 14 touchdown catches is a lot of touchdown catches. He's 6'3", 225. Reminds me a lot of the Boykin kid from Notre Dame. This receiving core and tight end group will be as big and as physical as Pitt's seen since that Notre Dame game before the bye week. And the one thing Arcega-Whiteside will do is he's one-on-one here at the bottom of the screen. He's just going to play basketball with you. He's going to find his way into the end zone, establish his ground, and he just wants to beat you in a jump ball. If you watch this play right here, again, just a vertical route. He starts looking for the ball at 10 yards. So you know this thing's coming up to him if you're that corner number 4. But watch him just box you out. Literally just uses that left hand and hip, boxes you out and goes up and makes the play. He's had several touchdown catches of that variety, and it's going to be a premium for Pitt to play the ball and get their hands between his, because they're going to throw that thing up to him multiple times.
Well, very difficult to do, as we know. You don't come up with 14 touchdown receptions by accident, but you came up with a play in which Jason Pinnock did exactly what you think he's going to need to do in the Sun Bowl against Arcega-Whiteside.
Yeah, Jason Pinnock against Clemson had 4 pass breakups, and a number of them are just one-on-one, key third down situations where he's ISO'd up down here. One-on-one, you know Trevor Lawrence knows where he's going before the snap. You can see Pitt's in their quarter shell, and they're going to play it basically just a one-on-one coverage with the middle linebacker dropping out of there. This is a one-on-one fade ball. Looks pretty similar to the Arcega-Whiteside play, but what does Pinnock do? He's able to fight for ground, get his hand in between the two hands of the wide receiver, and knock the ball away. That's textbook defense from Pinnock there, and they're going to need to pull from that. He's a guy I think is going to be matched up with Whiteside all game long. That's a matchup to watch.
So you have Pitt, you have Stanford, you have the Sun Bowl. How would you sum it up? What kind of game are you expecting to see stylistically?
Well, I think it's going to be a very pro-style game. You got both teams that huddle more often than not. They try to establish the run game with two very powerful and potent rushing attacks. But I think the difference is in the type of wide receivers you have on either side. Stanford's got big tight ends. They got big wide receivers. We know that the Panthers have struggled in the tight end department. They were a little bit depleted there. And at wide receiver, they got more speed. They got the jet sweep guys. So I think they're a little bit contrasted in terms of how they throw the ball and maybe how they're running a little bit. More power with Pitt, more slash with Stanford. But overall, I think it's a matchup that features a lot of very good prospects for the next level.
Looking forward to it. Hope you have a good trip to El Paso.
Can't wait.
All right, stick around. We still have more to come on Pitt Beyond the Script.